Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Mash and Drum Whiskey Wednesday night. What's going on? I'm here. I am Jason C., your host and your whiskey, your shepherd in whiskey. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Going to be a fun show tonight. Really laid back after the crazy show that was last week with Nancy Fraley. Hope you guys caught that live stream. That was absolutely unbelievable. And absolutely loved being not only experiencing the samples that she had sent, including the first ever Joseph Magnus cigar blend, but going through, she took my feedback honestly, and she was great about everything. I mean, that's what we expect from Nancy Fraley, the legend. She seemed to be pretty impressed with my with my findings in the glasses. So I didn't make myself out to look like a complete idiot, but it was great. It was definitely one of the best live streams I think I've ever been a part of. So it was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that last week. It was so much fun. Today we have just a bunch of stuff I need to catch up on. It's been a hell of a 3 weeks, guys. I know I've been a little bit off the grid with content lately, but it's honestly just a symptom of my crazy travel and family being in town and trips to Kentucky about every third or fourth day, it seems. It's been a lot. So I haven't really gotten the time to, sit down and make some content like I always like to. But that all changes as of tonight and tomorrow. So I will start filming some more content as we go through here the next week or so. I have some ideas, but actually would like to, maybe hear some of your feedback tonight of some videos you would like to see, maybe some ideas you think would get me to that 100,000 subscriber mark. I have some really fun ideas in the pipeline, but, always love to hear your guys' feedback. And yeah, like I said, so I don't know if you guys remember back in July, I was basically traveling for work. I was gone over a week. And then all of a sudden it kind of changed into I got home. Then I had to make a quick trip to Bardstown. Then I came back, and then my friends were in town. My family and friends were in town for a full week. So I really couldn't do much content. Actually, they were here when the Nancy Fraley live stream was going on. So if you guys are watching, I miss you guys already. So thanks for that and for supporting me that night. That was so much fun. And then as soon as we were done, I literally dropped them off at the airport. And then the next day I went back to Kentucky to do a wild turkey barrel pick, 3 barrels to be exact. So it's just been kind of a crazy, hectic last few weeks. So glad to be back. Things are calming down relatively here in the next few months. So it'll be great just to get back into whiskey, talk to you guys, make some content. And as we get into the fall here, I know it's kind of crazy to talk about fall because August is pretty quiet for bourbon and whiskey releases for the most part each and every year. We don't see a ton of releases that come out in August. A few drop here and there. The Elijah Craig Toasted Rye, that came out or that's about to come out. I mean, I don't know. That release doesn't really move the needle for me, as you guys probably already know, but I will get a bottle and review it. Michter's just announced their toasted barrel bourbon is coming back. Four Roses announced their LE for 2024. So we'll go through some of those new stories tonight, but not a whole lot to talk about in August. But once we get to September, that all changes. All the stuff starts coming out. We're talking BTAC, Birthday Bourbon, Four Roses LE, all of it. So plenty to talk about as we get into fall. So it should be a lot of fun. So before we get into before we get into what I'm pouring here a little bit, I do want to say hi to everybody here in the chat. Scotty Alexander, good evening. Cheers. Inspired by the preview, I'm running a Dettling Peerless Frey Ranch comparison tonight. Very cool. Randall Erickson is here. James Lay said he has to miss tonight, but we'll miss you, buddy. We have Mr. Mom 310 is here. Joey B in the house. What's going on, Joey? We got Raging Irishman is here. Travis Robeson, what's going on, you crazy guy? Hope you're doing well. Mark S is here. What's going on, Mark? May the Schwartz be with you. We got William Wiley is here. What's going on, Atlanta? Stephen Waltz in the house. We got Tim Romero, Justin Jenkins, 4 Leaf Whiskey. What is up, EJ? Nice to see you, buddy. Hope you and Lily are doing great. And Melissa, let's see. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Lily says hit the like. There you go. Philip Travis. We have Dr. Sped here trying dark arts for the first time tonight. Michael Speakerman is here. Andrew Wright. What's up? NJ is in the house. We got Brian M. He says, I'm here. Roger Reese is here. Nice to see you, Roger. Andrew Wright, Stag 22A here. He's drinking some good stuff. That's cool. Let's see. Callie Drams, Michael Speakerman said hi. Who else we got? Jared O'Connor. We got Carlos, the Urban Bourbon Cowboy. What's going on, Carlos? Nice to see you, man. 4 Leaf Whiskey. What's going on, Stacy? Nice to see you as always. Dustin Bocic. Daniel Gresh is here. Randall Erickson. We got Silent Todd. Abrod's in the house. Who else? Whiskey Juice is here. What's going on, Juice? Sean Ortega. Cracked open a Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit single barrel CNF. Pretty tasty. Yeah, those CNFs are legit, man. Love them. But yesterday or 2 days ago when we picked down at Wild Turkey, we were able to grab a Camp Nelson E, which ended up being one of our favorite picks that day. And a really unique pick that we got to do one of the Wild Turkey 101 rye whiskeys, but it's from Tyrone Q, and it's an 8-year rye whiskey. So the typical Wild Turkey 101 rye is, I think, around 4 years old, maybe 5 years old. So you have the 8-year rye in that 101. It was delicious. So we can't wait to bring that one to the group here probably in the next 3 or 4 months. Top Jimmy, Roger Randall's here. What's going on, Raj? Matt's Palace is here. I have the Dettling bottle but unopened. Anxious to hear your thoughts. We'll definitely get blowing out my mic. All right, let me lower it a little bit. Sorry, man. It's always tough to tell if the mic is blowing out here. I'm just lowered it a touch. Let me know if that's better. Nancy's awesome. That live was epic. Absolutely. Tom Shanley's here. Let's see. Jason CRMC. What's up, Andrew Wright? Nice to see you, man. Saucy Shane. The key is clickbait, Jason. Yeah, 100K laser codes and hunting vids. Yeah, no thanks. I don't have a hunting vid that I'm working on, but I know I've been talking about it for a while. I just haven't had time to film it because I got to do it on location. I do have a collection starting video that I want to make, but do it in a store where I can go in and check out the selection and see what I would spend my money on to start a bourbon collection. Not exactly hunting, but you know what I mean. You should be damn proud of the respect that Nancy has for your tasting abilities and your honesty. Yeah, Brad Towning, I think that was the biggest standout for me. It was really cool to hear her feedback. Even after the stream, her chatting with me and, saying how great it was. And, she really took everything to heart. But like I said, I think it was her time to really talk about what she does with the blends, how much work it actually is. For people to just say, it's not as good as it used to. It's tough to hear, I'm sure from her end, because as much as she's putting into it, I mean, if you've seen the diagram of the blends, it's insane. All the barrels she has to deal with just to make one blend. So for someone just to be like, it's not as good as it used to be, I could see why she would want to kind of, dispel, that conjecture that's out there, unfortunately. So, but we did. And, I told her, look, those 100s weren't hitting. And she knew it too, which was pretty funny. JG is here. Whiskey Amadon OH is here. Tommy D, cheers, Jason. See you in Bardstown. Dude, can't wait to see you, Tommy D. That's going to be awesome. Be great to have you. First super chat of the night, Jeremy Erard. What's up, Jason? Incredible stream last week with Nancy. So much knowledge and perspective. Absolutely. I learned hopefully just as much as you guys did. Have your mom review Henry McKenna 10-year. That's a good idea, actually. JC, I sold a bottle of 1792 highest rye today. What do you know about it? Never heard of it before. That's one of those quiet outliers in the 1792 lineup. I had one sample of it once, and I remember it being okay. I like the spice of it. It is a highest rye. I don't remember what the mash bill is of it. What the mash bill is. It's been so long, but I'm sure we could probably find that out. But yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I still think for the money, the bottled and bond 1792s, and as you guys know, I've kind of flipped my perspective on the full proofs if you know a store that has really good picks, really good stuff. So, and bonding over bourbons here outside the Star, and I'm just gonna catch up all the way to the bottom. All right. Was there any fallout from last week's live for Nancy? Explain fallout, Lionel G. I don't know. What do you mean fallout? What are your kicks tonight at the Master and Drum? Oh, I could do this early. Tonight I have because the Olympics are over. I kind of enjoy the Olympics, but I'm wearing my red, white, and blue mids, my royal blue and red mid Jordan Jordan 1s. So really comfortable. Love putting these on. I'm not a tall guy, so the mids I could do the mids. The highs, I got to wear pants to cover that up because it like goes up to my damn calf. Great time at Wild Turkey. Cheers. Oh, Sanch was part of the Wild Turkey pick a couple days ago. Got some great barrels. Glad you were part of it, man. Glad to meet you too. Nuclear fallout. She was concerned about certain disclosures made. Came up multiple times. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, she did, and I think she was, from my end, nothing. I don't know about her. I thought she was pretty. I don't think what she said was anything super controversial. I think she was just being honest. But she didn't really name names, so I think she was fine, to be honest. But either way, I thought it was a great live stream overall. Oh man, this is good. Oh wow, it smells great. Okay, can't wait for the M&J September event at Bardstown at Ron Miles. Mids, bro. Yeah, nobody likes mids usually from Jordan 1s. Everyone kind of looks down on mids, and I get it. The materials aren't usually as premium as like a Jordan 1 high, but they come in some cool colorways. Top 5 Olympic moments, any Olympics. So maybe we could talk about that. Nancy basically said the bottling line was probably to blame for the funk on one sample, and she said she hopes she has a job in the morning. Yeah, basically. I think she's fine. Let's see here. Oh, is Ron Miles here? Ron Miles. Oh, Ron, if you're here, man, nice to see you tonight. Didn't see you in the chat quite. Oh, there he is. There's Ron Miles. Nice to see you, Ron. Carlos, the Urban Bourbon Cowboy. Jason, you see that 2XO Icon Series sneakerhead bourbon coming out, $99. Yeah, I'm buying multiples of those. I don't care if it sucks or not. I'm going to get a few of those babies for sure. Brian, can you go over the meetup this year? Any new updates? Yeah, guys. So Mash and Journey, Mash and Drum, my bourbon journey. We are putting together a meetup called the Bardstown Blitz here at the end of September. It's going to be happening at Bardstown Bourbon Company the last weekend in September. September, I believe, 27th to 28th. So September 27th will be at Bardstown Bourbon Company from 6 to 9 p.m. It's going to be absolutely amazing, I think. We're going to have pours. They're going to be doing some tours there. We'll have 2 different tours going on that night during the 3 hours. Guided tours of the Origin series, also just distillery tours in general. Plus, in the meantime, we'll enjoy some pours at the bar. We'll have live music going on. Could smoke some cigars outside. There'll be food all over the place. It's going to be a great time. Plus, on top of that, if you got a ticket in your gift bag, you'll receive a single barrel Bardstown Bourbon Company rye whiskey, cask strength, chosen just for the event. So it's exclusive to the event. It's not going to be available anywhere else. So if you're, and let me tell you, this pick that we did last week, incredible. This rye has like this dusty, root beery, heavy cinnamon. Oh, it is so good. It is one of the most unique ryes I've tasted in a long time, and glad that we grabbed it for a single barrel for the event. So yeah, it's going to be incredible. Then the second day on Saturday, we're going to be shuttling everyone into the little small town of Bardstown, and basically that's why it's going to be called the Bardstown Blitz. We're going to bring all the attendees into Bardstown. We're going to have a few surprises along the way at some of the different bars in each of the so the Volstead, I think, the Talbot Inn, a couple of participating places might have a little something for everybody. We're also going to be partnering with Liam and Ash, one of the cocktail emporium that's there, to do some to do a live cocktail class with everybody. We'll have some food there for everybody. And then the second half of that event, everybody will get to go into the courtyard and have some pours furnished by Four Gate Whiskey Company. So Foregate's going to be pouring some stuff back there, and we'll possibly get a preview of the Mash and Journey Foregate Kelvin 60, the double oaked bourbon that we selected earlier this year. So a lot going on, and of course there'll be some bottle shares in between. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be so cool, man. Yeah, Ron, I'm so pumped about your BBC, right? That root beer note is so awesome. Dude, it's so good. It's so good, man. JJ, if possible, the Olympics, but we'll talk about the breakdancing later. Yeah, for sure. Jason, will there be cannolis? I can guarantee there will be cannolis. Cannolis for all. So we'll have a couple desserts passed around. It's just like, little plates, but definitely cannolis will be there. It was one of my non-negotiables. So what are we sipping tonight? So first pour of the night. I just got this. This is a Mash and Journey piece. This is brand new. This is going to be coming out to the group real soon. This is our Frey Ranch single barrel pick. And as you can see there on the side, it says right there, Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So I was, to be honest, guys, I was a little like, I don't know if I want to do a Frey Ranch pick right now. It's a little bit, I don't know if I want to do that. But honestly, we kind of put it out to the group, and they were like, yes, we want a Frey Ranch pick. They're doing really great stuff. So we did a single barrel, picked it, man, was about 4 or 5 months ago, and it's finally here. So I'm crapping it open tonight. So Jason, there's an outside chance of a new and wild New Holland bottle. Hopefully all goes to plan. Oh, Gary, I'll be waiting. I hope so, man. That'll be great. So, yeah, we're going to have sliders. We're going to have, I think, Nashville chicken sandwiches will be going around. Again, all kind of little bites. We'll have a bunch of, there's going to be crazy food and definitely enough cannolis to go around. So, guys, let me know what you're sipping in the chat. Let's start off with this one tonight, and then we'll get into I'll get into some news. I'll sip some of these other new bottles. You guys can kind of choose what I'm going to drink here. And if you have any other requests tonight of maybe bottles that maybe you missed a review for, or anything you would like me to go through, talk about, this is your night. Again, this is kind of a laid-back night for me tonight. I just wanted to sip along with you guys, hang out, answer a bunch of questions. If you have any Q&A, we can dive into that too. I have a lot of thoughts in my head about a lot of stuff with whiskey these days, so, fire away. But I'm going to dive into this real quick first. So we have an ECVP C923. Most Frey Ranch picks I've had have this awesome cookie dough note. Travis has some hot quality H2O in my glass. Very nice. Short barrel rye pick. Okay. I get a lot of hay notes on those Frey Ranch farm strengths. I could see that being a thing. Hay. I don't think I have hay here. The one thing with Frey Ranch you do get is that grain forward note, which is here. But there's also a lot of fruit forward components here, which I really like. I think that's why we took this one, especially on the nose. There's a very, very slight milk chocolate note here. That's probably what's like really making it. It's milk chocolate covered almonds. It's a lot of milk chocolate covered almonds, actually. It's kind of a pastry note here. It's almost buttery. Man, that thing smells awesome. Good. When we picked this, we were like between two crazy barrels, and I remember I wanted one, and I got outvoted. So this was the one that was chosen. This one was pretty damn good too. So definitely some apple. The apple strong here. Apple, chocolate, almond. Really interesting nose. All right, guys. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out tonight. And let's enjoy some whiskey tonight. Here we go. I would never guess that as a Frey Ranch. That's pretty delicious. Caramel apple all day long. A little bit of a juicy fruit gum influence there too. But caramel apple with a little caramel apple sprinkled with some peanuts. Milk chocolate. There's a little bit of that graininess on the background, which you get from Frey Ranch. I do not mind it at all. That's good. Yeah, you can use this bottle for home defense. This is one of the heaviest. Like, this thing is a weapon. No, I mean, you don't even need a bottle. Just the cork. This thing weighs at least, God, that thing might be at least 12 ounces. Jesus. Oh, that's good. So this came in at 122.8 proof. So this has a really nice proof point to it. Dark color on this thing too. See how dark that is, even with the light shining on it. Really nice color, man. This thing is, I forgot how good this was. This thing's a beast. That's going to be a great pick for the group right there. The cork, yeah, exactly. The cork alone can knock someone silly. Kino, see, that Dettling is so good. Yeah, we're definitely gonna dive into the Dettling. Let's see here. Adam Hinson, what's going on, Adam? Nice to see you, buddy. Hope Florida is treating you good. Should I trade my 13th colony 15th anniversary for a Russell Reserve 15? You are the second person that has asked me that. Second person that has asked me that. Oh, wow. I don't know, man. Here's the thing, Adam. Adam, I know you've had a lot of great 13 colony. You were part of the pig team. You have a holy cannoli. The 15th anniversary bottle, I really did enjoy. Do I like it better than the Russell Reserve 15? I don't think I do. So if you're just going on what I like, I would probably make the trade. I think in the long run, the Russell's Reserve 15 is going to be a better whiskey overall. However, people seem to put a premium on 13th Colony. So if you're not like thinking about just taking the bottles and selling them down the line, then and you actually want to sit and drink them, yeah, then go for the Russell's 15. I think that would be my vote. Old Overholt 10 versus Little Book Powder, or in this video. Oh, we might be able to do that, Jason. I like that. Russell's Reserve 15 is the new GOAT right now. Yeah, I mean it's got a lot of publicity. So we were able to talk about it a little bit with Bruce Russell at Wild Turkey. 342 watching right now. Unbelievable, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button and keep helping me get to 100K. I promise have a bunch of content coming your way real soon. So it'll be great. Let's see. Joe Wanniger, depends on how much you like maple stave infused, Georgia aged, MGP disguised as something else. That's not exactly true, Joe, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to change your mind. Everybody has their opinion about 13 Colony. It's just, I'm just getting sick and tired of it, but it's, yeah. Depends how much you like maple stave infused. So first of all, the 15th anniversary is not maple stave. It's actually French oak. It's French oak aged, but I mean, yeah, I get it. Outside the Star has a weird feeling the ECB PC 924 is going to be 15 plus. Hoping beyond hope. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Any info on the new batch of Penelope toasted rye? I haven't gotten my sample yet. But again, toasted rye, I mean, I don't know, man. I like toasted rye over bourbon, over toasted bourbons. So I am curious about the Elijah Craig one, but the Penelope toasted rye. I mean, we've done a Penelope toasted rye pick that was delicious. So, oh no, that wasn't a rye. Sorry. But the latest Penelope toasted ryes that I've had, I think have been really good. Just depends. What was your story from Bruce on the Russell Roach? Oh, so yeah. So I asked him about all the crazy barrels that were used, and he said the blend was actually not as complicated as you would think. He goes, when you're starting with really good whiskey, like what they had to start with in those barrels, it really wasn't that difficult. They kind of create a template and they're like, okay, let's add this to this to this to this, and let's see what we get. And he said once we did that, the first blend that they put together was already phenomenal. It wasn't like this, this long process of trying to craft the perfect blend. He just said when you have, that's what I love about talking to Bruce Russell, man. He's just so down to earth, and he's like, hey, when you start with great whiskey, it really isn't that hard. You just kind of put some stuff together. Obviously, they did tweak some things, especially with those super high proofers. He said a couple of the barrels were over 150 proof, which was insane. And then when they blended it together, they had to get it down. So they were systematically going down when they were blending it. So right now it's at 117.2, correct? 117.3, 117.2. 117.2 proof. They were going from like 119, 118, 117. They were working their way down to see what the best proof would be. So if there was any real adjustment being, any adjustments that were being, had right then and there, it was with those decimal points of proof points. It wasn't really anything super. I just thought it was a really interesting, tidbit about Russell's 15. So it was pretty cool. Turkey's having a heck of a year. Love the spiced orange and roasting fig notes on Triumph. Yeah, Triumph, 15 plus, no way, probably 11 to 12. Where does it say French oak finish? I haven't found that info anywhere. When we had it there, when they gave it to us when we were there, they said it was French oak, the 15th anniversary. So, is Frey Ranch available anywhere in the Northeast? I do not know that. I agree with Outside Heaven Hill going to tell Wild Turkey to hold their beer. You think so? You think Heaven Hill is going to come out? I don't know. I've heard that the Four Roses LE this year is phenomenal, so I cannot wait to try to get one. So, let's see here. Anyone else seeing prices come down in your area? Yeah, you could do word. Let's see here. Have you gotten the Uncle Nearest 7.7 release yet? Haven't gotten that one. I do have a lot of whiskey to catch up on. I know this may never happen. But I'd be interested in how an ECB patch would be from the Bernheim Brick Warehouse at 12 plus years old, since the Hero 17 came from there. I do think it would offer up some of those, butterscotchy, I don't know, kind of like those vintage notes that you get in some of the old Heaven Hills. That's what we got in the Old Fitz 13 this year, the 25th anniversary. I mean, that was from Bernheim. Obviously, that was distilled. That was pre-Fire Heaven Hill. That was tanked for so many years before it was bottled for that release. But, it would be kind of cool. Thoughts on the upcoming Penelope Estate Collection? Supposed to be their answer to B-Tech. I don't know if I'd say that, Stephen, because I do believe from talking to Danny and those guys that they're not going to be super high-proof releases. But they are going to be hand-picked, delicious single-barrel bourbons from Penelope, and obviously from MGP. So we'll see how those come out. We weren't able to taste them yet, but we are eager to. So let's see. Good call. Top Shelf would just be a fruit bids from this channel. Top Shelf Dustin's here. What's up, Dustin? Nice to see you, man. Dustin says he's broke. What did you buy now, man? What did you buy, Top Shelf? Cheers, all. I'm drinking heavy tonight. Car in the shop for a week. I had it back for 5 days, and I blew a tire. Back to this. Oh, you spent money on your car. Oh, that sucks. And when it comes to turkey as well, we still haven't had the Rick House yet this year. The Camp Nelson B single Rick House should be coming out pretty soon too. So there's a lot of stuff still to come. It's interesting how chocolatey that is. And I think that's probably from that. Sometimes when you get a heavy grain bourbon, at least for me, it comes off a little bit chocolatey. So, yeah, I'm digging that. Master Journey members, that thing is, you're going to love that bottle. And again, it doubles as a weapon. So you have a nice home defense weapon here as well. So what are the odds it's better than CNF? I wouldn't bet on it, but we'll see. I'll just say that. So somebody had mentioned Rabbit Hole and prices coming down. So when I was driving home from Kentucky, literally 2 days ago, I stopped at Party Source, and they had these rabbit hole picks that were available starting. So these picks were originally $130. So they had a mess of them all on sale for about $45, something like that. So I'm like, you know what? I've never tried these. So I was like, you know what? Let me grab one of these and let's see how it is. So the fact that they're commanding such a high price for these things, I think it's kind of crazy. Actually, let me throw the barrel details here so you guys can see. So there are the barrel details. There you see on the bottom, Party Source. So apparently these were all the same barrels, just had different labels on them, and it was supposed to be Alice in Wonderland. So that is the rabbit. There was also the Cheshire Cat, a couple of other cool characters. Yeah, it's a serious price correction, no joke. Now they had, I believe, the Cave Hill. And this is the High Gold, which I believe is their High Rye. When I did the review for the rabbit holes a while back, I believe the High Gold was my favorite. I couldn't remember exactly, but I rolled the dice, so I grabbed the High Gold. Now, $130 originally, 107.7 proof. This is non-age stated. Actually, is it age stated? Oh, yeah, here we go. This single barrel expression has been gracefully aged for 4 years and 5 months. So a 4-year, 5-month bourbon, they wanted $130 originally. Again, I'm not really sure what Rabbit Hole's thinking with that pricing model, but there's no way they could sustain that. You can't. All right. I haven't even thought about Rabbit Hole for years. That's the worst $40 bourbon ever made. It might be. Jason Souza says, I'm a huge fan. Oh, shit. Jason Souza's here. What's up, Jason? Nice to see you, man. That's the worst $40 bourbon ever made. I've never tried. Wise Guy says, I've never had a Rabbit Hole bourbon. Okay. Nick Foles, Maestro, I went back and watched an old live stream with you, Junkie, Sam Bobby Bourbon, saying, let's bring that back for one night throwback stream. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. I haven't talked to Bourbon Say in a long time. Rabbit Hole was my introduction to whiskey. I literally fell in the rabbit hole. Okay. I see what you did there. 130 marked down to 40. I think that says it all. Someone is pissed that paid 130. Yeah. And you know, guys, I'll be honest here. Obviously, I would not have bought this at $130. Not even close, but the nose is youthful. Kind of a peachy apricot nose. Little citrus. It's grainy, like in the sense, like when you compare it to Frey Ranch. But Frey Ranch is a different grain. Frey Ranch is like a rich grain where there's some other flavors integrated in here. This is like youthful grain, which isn't my favorite. All right, I'm just going to drink it here. It's super citrusy. Very citrus forward. This is like lemon, orange. It kind of drinks like flat Sprite. Does that make sense? Very citrus forward, sugary sweet, not complex, not really a big finish at all here. Actually, the finish is a little bit. It's like it's like damp. It's like a damp finish on it. Yeah, that's not good. It's not great. All right, $40. But the fact that this was 130 and some people bought this at 130, like Rabbit Hole, like what the hell are you doing? If Rabbit Hole is trying to present themselves as a luxury brand of whiskey, this is not the way to go. You know, you can't. I feel like Rabbit Hole is trying to sell us with packaging and labels and stickers and trying to make it as pretty as you can so they can sell lipstick on a pig. You know, I don't know. I just don't understand it. Look, Rabbit Hole, it's a great destination when you go to Louisville. Everybody that I've ever met there, they're super nice, super helpful. They're very passionate about the brand, and I get all that. But the whiskey just doesn't. The whiskey doesn't command that type of pricing. You got to switch the pricing model. I mean, it just sits on shelves wherever I go. That's bad. That's not. I mean, that's a single barrel that was selected. I don't know what's worse, the price of that one or that it was actually selected by Party Source. That's terrible. I 100% agree, Jay. That reminds me of that dumb Derringer bottle that has a pistol on top. Cool on your bar top, terrible in your mouth. Yeah, Joe, that I would put it up there. Okay. Let's dive into this Dettling. This is a bottle that I've gotten a lot of requests to talk about. So we're going to talk about it. I feel like I have talked about it in a couple videos, but let's talk about, this is an Alabama Dettling whiskey. This is the bourbon, and I believe this is a small batch. This is 2018 Dettling. Oh, this is their bottle and bond. This is their bottle and bond bourbon. Okay. 100 proof. Distilled in bond in Alabama. Made in small batches. All right. So this is a grain to glass distillery, guys. Grain to glass distillery. And obviously, Alabama gets some pretty serious heat. So I would expect this to be pretty... Now, the one Dettling that I did have previous to this one was a single barrel select that somebody had sent me. So I wanted to just try their standard 100 proof offering and see if it was even close, or if some of those same attributes that I found in the single barrel were also here. I heard that Stellum is being discontinued and the price on bottles has come way down. Is this true? Anyone hear anything? I heard the same thing about Stellum. I cannot confirm or deny. I think the problem with Stellum is that they marketed it as a half price option against the Barrel Craft Spirits barrel bourbon blends, but then they made them premium when they were doing special releases of them that were the same price, if not more expensive than the Barrel Craft Spirits. I never understood where the separation between Stellum and Barrel Craft was separate. I just never really understood that. As many explanations as I got, Stellum just should have remained the cheaper option. Make it $40-$50 instead of if you really like Barrel Craft Spirits but you don't want to spend the $100, they should have just kept those bottles at $40-$50 instead of trying to come out with all these crazy blends. If you have these crazy blends, put them in your premium packages, but you should have just left Stellum alone. I just felt like Stellum somehow got lost in the mix of all those different releases, because you had Dovetail, you have Dovetail, you have what's the other one? Dovetail's the popular one. I mean, they did the Tale of Two Whiskeys. They did the Amburana one. They did the Amaro finished one. All these different blends that they created that were kind of stood out in outliers. And then it's like Stellum was kind of in the background. It's like, okay, well, here's this as well, but you're gonna have to pay $110 to try this, which is kind of the how does that go against Seagrass? How does that go against some of the other premium barrels that we have put out? Why it's almost like they were taking away from that specific lineup with the Stellum lineup. I just never understood it. I really didn't. Oh yeah, the Armida. Yes, then they had the Vantage. Yep. Yeah, bonding over bourbon. That's a great point. I think that was a big part of it. Dovetail. That was the Dovetail, Seagrass, Armida, and Vantage. Yeah, like Why you have one of the most unique and delicious whiskeys on the market in Seagrass? You didn't need to release a high age, Stellum rye whiskey. That was just going to get lost in the shuffle, and it did. Those did not sell. Hey, Jason, the 24 release of Four Roses limited edition will have a price increase, pushing the cost to $220. Well, you know what? Let's get into it. Let's talk about some of the news. I've been out for a couple weeks. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, so let's talk about it. And I believe here it is. There it is, guys. The Four Roses 2024 LE release. Let me get to the press release here. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right info. So this was just unveiled August 7th. So this literally happened last week on Wednesday. Well, I wasn't really able to talk about it because Nancy was on, but this is set to drop September 14th. This year's release will be the 17th in the Four Roses line of annual limited bottlings. This is 108.2 proof, so a little bit on the lower end. It's a blend of 4 batches aged between 12 and 20 years. So that pretty much is in line with what we've seen from Four Roses recently. Aside from the 135th anniversary, which was last year's, which had some crazy high aged whiskey in it. So this year's blend is composed of 4 components, including a 12-year OBSV, a 15-year OESK, a 16-year OESF, and a 20-year OBSV. So let's see. Four Roses will distribute about 16,000 of these limited edition small batches in the U.S. at a suggested retail price of, there you go, $220 according to the brand. The limited bottling will also release at select retailers across the U.S. starting in September. So there you go. That's going to be now. I don't see. Well, let's see. Each year we strive to bring a new and exciting experience to your glass by blending variations of our distinct recipes to create something new. This year, the recipes we hand-selected have created something truly vibrant, bright, and unique while still maintaining a nice, delicate spice at the end. So, Four Roses, again, we'll see a price increase here. I think Four Roses is just doing what the market is doing. Everybody's releasing stuff at higher ages, higher price points. Even though there's 20-year-old whiskey in it, even last year's 135th was generally a lower price point than what we've seen from other distillers that are releasing limited edition offerings. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how the Four Roses one goes. I'm still buying a bottle because I always get the Four Roses limited release, so I'm excited for it. Okay, Four Roses LE or Russell's 15. Based on the description, I feel like I'll still like Russell's 15, but never count out the Four Roses LEs each and every year. Sometimes they just hit just right, man. I remember last year when Midwinter's Night Strain had a release of almost 100,000 bottles, and I couldn't find a single one. Maybe I'll see a Four Roses. It's a good. Hey, what's up, Jerry Hernandez? I see you, man. Tim Romero says, "Take my money." I'll have to try that one. It's been on my list. South Carolina barrel picks are awesome this year. Never had those. Wish I could get one. Get one LE, says Greg. Yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm willing to overpay to try to get one of those each and every year. It's just, I don't know. I love Four Roses, so yeah, I'm all over that. Let's get to another big bottle that people have been waiting for. It's about time. Does this still move the needle for you guys? Remus. The Remus, this is batch number, is that batch 7, I believe, or batch 8? Let me go back here. I believe it's 7. The 2024, actually, no, it's 8, I think. Yes, the 8th in the series. Bottle at 101 proof, Remus Repeal Series number 8 is a blend of 3 bourbons aged between 10 and 17 years old. A limited supply of bottles will drop in September during National Bourbon Heritage Month, which is next month. So cheers to that. With a minimum suggested retail price of $100. So we haven't really seen a price increase on this bottle, thank goodness. So this will stay at about $100. Each Remus Repeal Reserve is crafted by Ross and Scoop Distillery, formerly known as MGP. Here's how this year's blend shakes out. 9% of it is the 17-year-old bourbon containing 21% rye. 24% of it is a 10-year-old bourbon containing 21% rye. And 67%, a majority of the blend, is 10-year-old bourbon containing 36% rye. So I could tell you guys, I don't know if I mentioned this. I did get to try this when I was at MGP last month. Was it last month? I don't know. Time is just flying by this year. And I got to try the cast strength, which was really interesting. And then Ian Stursman, Master Distiller, gave it to us at proof down to the 100 proof that it's going to be. And it was actually way better at 100 proof. There was way more complexity at 100 proof. It actually had better viscosity at 100 proof. The cast strength was obviously good, a little bit more of a punch of flavor with the alcohol increase. However, it was more layered at 100 proof. And I think people are going to really like this one because I think it takes you back a little bit to some of the earlier Remus batches where you had a lot of that cherry cola, maple, really rich dark fruit characteristics. I feel like the more recent Remus batches have been a little bit on the brighter side of citrus that we normally get from MGP. Those really heavy orange notes that tend to come out, cinnamon, a little bit of a graham crackerish note. But this is kind of a little bit of a flip back to that older school MGP profile that I love, which is a little bit more cherry cola forward, a little bit more on the heavy baking spice, and it is really, really good. So hopefully what we had tastes exactly like what we're getting in that bottle because we were really impressed with it. So I'm sorry, 101 proof. Did I say 100? 101 proof. Yes, 101 proof. Sorry, guys. 101 proof. Let's see here. Give me cast strength. I'll proof my own glass down, says Nolan Wren. Jason, how would you rank it next to 5? That's the last one we truly enjoyed. I wouldn't put it against 5. Again, 5 is going to be the mega outlier because of those super aged whiskeys that were in there. I would compare it more against 1 through 4. Like, put it in that mix, not so much 6 and 7. I would probably put it, well, maybe not even 4. Maybe, actually, no, 4 was really good. I would probably group it in one of those earlier batches rather than the later batches. That's what I would do it. So yeah. All right, what else do we got? Very exciting news out of Columbus, Ohio, out of C-Bus right here, where I live, my hometown here, guys. Now we have a cool whiskey coming out from Middle West Spirits. One of their finished releases is about to hit the market again. I'm not sure if this is released yet. Let's read to the press release. With fall sipping in mind, Middle West unveils whiskey finish in orange wine casks. So on Monday, Middle West announced the release of a limited production whiskey, single barrel double cask Vino de Naranja whiskey. The whiskey will be available to the public exclusively at the brand shop in Columbus, Ohio, starting August 30th, and it features a blend of Middle West rye and wheat whiskeys. The distillery finished the expression in casks that previously held a Spanish wine called Vino de Naranja, which is a type of sherry wine infused with Seville oranges. So Vino de Naranja is a distinctive Spanish wine made from Palomino and Pedro Jimenez sherry grapes, and the bitter Seville orange infusion yields a zesty and citrus-imbued flavor profile. Plenty of aromatics. The limited release whiskey hosts a suggested retail price of $129.99, so $130 for this one. I am all over this because not only is it a blend of their wheated bourbon and their dark pumpernickel rye, but I love Vino de Naranja finishes. We did one last year with Sagamore, one of the best rye whiskeys we got to try, so I'm really looking forward to tasting that one. Unfortunately, it's only going to be available here, which they copied your Sagamore pick, Jason. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. All right. Let's see. I think I only have one more news story left here. This is really cool. I actually already know somebody that grabbed this bottle, and this is one of those things. It's just something really cool that Jack Daniel's is doing, and it's kind of linked to. This is linked for veterans and active military. So this is the kind of project I like to get on board on and to support. So Jack Daniel's just this Monday announced the release of 2024 Hero Selection Single Barrel Proof Tennessee Rye Whiskey. This is selected by U.S. Navy veteran and Jack Daniel's SVP General Manager Melvin Keebler. The 2024 Hero Selection Edition is intended to honor veterans and active military. So it is my privilege to select this whiskey in honor of the men and women who continue to serve and protect our freedom. This is available 750 milliliter bottle for a suggested retail price of $69.99. And it'll be available on select military retail locations, which I think is even cooler. Each bottle will be sold in an exclusive gift box with collectible medallions, as you can see on the bottle. Distilled from the mash bill, 70% rye, 18 corn, 12 malted barley. And yeah, that's about it. So if you're part of the military or know anybody in the military that has access to one of the military shops, then yeah, grab one. That's pretty cool. I love that Jack Daniel's is doing that. And on the completely out of the stratosphere of pricing news, we have this, the Balvenie 50. That's right. Look at it. Look at it. It's all its glory. You know what's special about this bottle too? There's actually 14 karat gold plated on the bottle. And if that doesn't get your engine running enough, it actually costs more than a Tesla. At least that's what it says. On Wednesday, just today, the Balvenie unveiled the first whiskey within a new collection meant to honor the distiller's production process over the last half century. The inaugural scotch within the Balvenie 50 collection has a suggested retail price of, you guessed it, or maybe you didn't, $53,000. That's right, $53,000. Just 125 bottles exist. The bottle features a 4-layer wood helix and packaging, including 100 different elements from Croglin Limited, a woodworking shop, according to the Speyside whiskey brand that specializes in whiskey jewelry. The most stunning aspect of the bottles is a 14-karat gold-plated display. The juice inside was selected from European oak refill butt that was filled in 1973 by former malt master David C. Stewart, MBE. For several decades, the Balvenie's team monitored the cask until it was ultimately chosen by malt master Kelsey McKechnie. So there you go. So if you guys have an extra 53 gram laying around, just go for it. What are you waiting for? Damn. Like look at this thing. Where is it? Look at it. Gold plated. I mean, you can see the gold on it. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, that is a kick-ass. I mean, that is a beautiful presentation. But that looks like, I think that's only a 375. Is that a full bottle? Let me see what it says here. I don't know. That doesn't look like a 750 or even a 700. That looks smaller. Oh, it doesn't say. I don't know. That looks like a small bottle, right, guys? I feel like that's a tiny. I feel like it's a tiny little bottle. I don't know, man. That's crazy. I mean, if you've got the unlimited budget, man, I have that or a Tesla. I better start playing Powerball. That box is that huge. The box is that huge. Okay, maybe. Oh, Top Shelf Dustin says that's a full bottle. Is it really? Damn, that's crazy. $75 per ml if a 700 milliliter bottle. Wow. Wow, Dettling is straight up. Darrell Stewart, you'll like this. Actually, you probably won't like this. Dettling is straight up cold brew coffee. That's what it tastes like, cold brew. I mean, it's slightly bitter, it's chocolatey, but the coffee note in this is insane. I mean, if you're an avid coffee drinker, and this is going to be right up your alley. That is crazy. Whiskeys, yeah, Darrell, exactly. I know you don't like it, but man, for all the coffee drinkers out there, coffee, chocolate, get a Dettling. You will absolutely be blown away by it. I would trade them a Blanton's and a Weller Foolproof for it, says Keith Stefanski. Oh, man. All right, so quick question goes, honestly, because I'm having a moral conundrum, if you will. So for many years, I have, not for many years, but for the last couple years, I've pretty much always said that Old Forester birthday bourbon is just not worth it. Don't chase after it. It's overpriced hype in a bottle. It's low proof. It's never has a great finish on it. Whatever. But this year's, if the stats hold true, now we haven't seen a press release yet, but we did see the label on TTB a while back. 107 proof, 12 years old. If those are the stats of birthday bourbon, do I roll the dice and buy one? Or try to find one at retail if I can? Or if not, if I overpay for one? But with those stats, if you were in my Nikes, would you try to get that bottle? I'm just curious because it has me in a moral conundrum because I've had President's Choice this year. I had an 11-year and a 12-year. The 12-year President's Choice that I had this year was one of the best bourbons I've had this year. Probably one of the best Old Forester products I've had in a super long time. So because of that bottle, I am now intrigued about the birthday bourbon. And this is what sucks about age statements and proof points sometimes. You don't go without it for a long time with birthday bourbon, but now it's also like you have this opportunity to get something that you've been looking for. Do you get it? Do I get it? What do you think? No chance unless it's retail. At MSRP, yes. Get 2 Four Roses LDs instead. Retail at those stats, yup. At retail, sure, but secondary is stupid. I would never buy it on secondary, especially in the beginning. If anything, I would try to get one down the line once the prices calm down. If I can't get one retail, but I'm going to really try to work every connection I can to get one at retail. Bought a $100 raffle ticket for a chance to win the Weller Millennium. Only 75 tickets sold. Drawing is Sunday. If I win it, what should I sell it for? Well, Jared, I hate to tell you, but the Weller Millenniums are going for below retail. Nobody wants to buy that shit at $7,500. I'm sorry. You know what? If you buy a $100 raffle ticket and you buy it, well, yeah, I mean, you're still making out. I mean, even if it was sold under retail, you're still making out with way more money than you put into it. So at that point, it might make sense if you would like to sell it. But I don't know, man. If that's you know what? If you win it, let me know. I'll send you a couple $100 and you could send me a few samples of it and I could do a review on it if you don't choose to sell it. So if you win it, good luck. Keep me posted. No chance unless it's retail. For 107 proof, I will bet it's going to be a good one. Now, Old Forester rarely hits the mark. I'm with you, Kenneth, man. YOLO. The 12-year private picks of OFPC tasted just like King of Kentucky. Oh, Brian from Abandoned Bourbons here. Yeah, man. Oh, my God. They were so good. They were so good. Go find a place to get a pour. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Jason, do you have a favorite new shelfer for 2024? Mine right now might be the Green River 117 proofer. You know what? Whiskey knows. I'm so glad you brought that up because that goes back to like stuff like this. Like the fact that they were charging $130 for this shit. And you can get Green River Full Proof, which is 6 years old, full proof for $45, $50. That's how you do it. That's how you come to the market with a great new affordable price. I have to say, I think this year, Green River Full Proof is probably going to be a top 5 bourbon for me just because not only how good it is, but the value it carries. It is such a great value for the money. That's a hard bottle to beat. So I think that could be my favorite shelfer. One of the videos I am working on is kind of like my journey of bottle rotations over the last few years, which I think I had mentioned before. So basically, like bourbons that I always went to back in 2017, 2018, and what my weekly, monthly rotation looks like now compared to where it was. So we'll kind of take you through all the different bottles that I've kind of went through, what has changed in that time, what some of the stuff, and it's interesting to see kind of the pattern that kind of grows and some of the patterns that actually change, which is pretty interesting. So that'll be a fun video. So yeah, if you win it for 100, just enjoy it. Let's see. What's up, Jason? Yes, Green River is delicious for an affordable price. What's up, Michael? How often do you buy a bottle? Pretty often. I mean, I just bought this. I just bought this back in Kentucky, because this is only available in Kentucky now. But the reason why I bought it is because the stats on the back say that this is almost 9 years old. So these Evan Williams single barrels at this point, are they all about 8, 9 years old now? If that's the case, then... But the price did go up on this. This used to be like a $20-something bottle, and now it's about $45. So the price did go up. But so did everything else, you know? Let's see. What's your favorite bottle of all time? Where does RR15 stand up to it? Oh, my God. Favorite bottle of all time? I mean, that's so tough. I mean, I've had so many good whiskeys over the years. I mean, obviously, I always talk about the cheesy gold foil Wild Turkey back there, the Old Crow, Chessman. I do love those Weller Gold Vein bottles, the old school Weller Gold Vein bottles, man. Those are so good. Old Fitzies. The Elijah Craig Pirate bottle batches are always going to be hands down favorites to me. I haven't had whiskey like that in a long time. King of Kentucky's, obviously you have your George C. Staggs or William Leroy Wellers, but then you have some like sneaky bangers that have come out over the years. The Booker's 30th anniversary is a bottle I don't think gets talked about a lot or enough. Booker's 30th anniversary was an amazingly good bottle of whiskey. It was so freaking good. That bourbon, I love. If I could get another bottle of that, I would. You have certain batches of Stag that really stood out, like Stag Jr., I should say. Knob Creek 12-year cask strength. Why don't we have that again? Where has that been? That needs to come back. Certain Michter's bottles have been real. I mean, there's just so much, man. It's hard to pick out a number one out of everything that you try, each and every year. Oh my God, the Balvenie Ton 1401. Yeah, that might be the best Scotch I've ever had. At least it's up there. Jason, what do you think about New Riff Single Barrel? Michael Tobias, they're really hit and miss for me. Some of them get a little bitter, a little youthful in the back end. But when you find a good one, they can be really good. But you just have to be careful, like that youthful bitterness that some of them have. I haven't had one in a while that had that, so I think they're aging up, getting a little bit better. But any New Riff that I've had recently they've been pretty good. So Booker's 30th is my most disappointing pour to date. Really, Kenneth? Man, our palates must be pretty different, man. I thought that Booker's 30th was amazing. Jason, bring that Evan Williams to the bottle share if possible. Yeah, I could do that. Got any of the good time stuff back there? No good times. Have you tried the Heaven Hill Grain and Glass release? I love the ride. It's really well done. No, but I have a video coming up of that. Those dropped in Ohio recently, so I'm going to grab those and do those for sure. Can you do another top 5 goats available? Those videos you make once a year are great. Sure. Yeah, that's definitely in the works for sure. I'm still waiting. I'm still wanting Mellow Corn Barrel Proof. Master and Drum wasn't Sneaky Bangers the porn version of Peaky Blinders? Yeah. That's pretty good. I like that. Did I miss you blending something fun? No, I haven't blended anything yet. But speaking of blends, let's get into it. It's already 10:07. I did say the announcement was coming. Right after we do this announcement, we'll get into your review request tonight. But guys, it's about that time. It's that time of the year. We're getting close to September. That means it's Blendageddon time. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Blendageddon Whiskey Challenge. It is going to be Eric Sawyer with his blend called the Butterfly Assassin versus Darrell Stewart with his blend called Bootsy's Blend. We also have JG with Milo's Mash and Shelby Strunk with Pour It, Spit It, and Chew It. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome the man, the myth. He is Mr. Fred Minnick. How you doing, Fred?
What's up, my friend? How you doing?
How are you, man?
Man, first of all, I gotta say, fuck your train.
Well, here's the thing. So this is what I changed this year, Fred.
Yeah.
I did not allow any store picks or group picks within these blends because I wanted people to be able to recreate this blend.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, brother. A is holy shitballs. Man.
Yeah, A is already a beast of a blend right there.
And I'm like, I'm not a fan of oak, but I like grain. I like the nuance of grain.
I love how darker it is. However, compared to A just might have a little.
I'm not willing to rule it out. I'm not willing to rule out B.
I'm not ruling out B either. I do like B a lot. Let's go to C.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. Oh, it does have an old school funk on it.
Oh.
Ooh.
I want to say that I think C would win my top 100, or be in the top 5, because it has like 3 elements to me that survive like a big blind tasting.
All right, letter D. Oh, I think you're gonna like the nose on this one, Freddie.
Well, actually, I can show it to you. Look at this. That's my microphone.
That's like Bob the Builder's microphone setup.
All right, so D was kind of my least favorite.
Yeah, D's not holding up to the other 3. Unfortunately, it's very good.
There's kind of like, do you want something that's really concentrated, or do you want something that's really balanced? And that's the discussion between A and B.
I agree. A is the balance. B is the concentrated flavor, and I'm here for
it. Without a doubt. So
we do.
Last year's winner.
So it comes down to Eric Sawyer and Darrell Stewart, the defending champion, or Eric Sawyer versus Darrell Stewart. Who wins? Fred and I have deemed the champion of Blendageddon number 6 for 2023, and letter B comes up just a tad bit short, but so close. The 2023 champion of Blendageddon goes to the one and only Prince's Blend wins it.
Wow!
Yes! Eric Sawyer, the defending champion, almost repeats. So close. All right, guys, Blendageddon number 7 has now officially begun. So, guys, get your blends together. What I have done is created a link down below in the description of the video. You can click that link, and you can actually get a link to the rules, and click the link to insert your blend into a form so I can keep track of where the blends are coming from. A lot of times, I get blends and some stuff that nobody labels. People don't even put their return address on it, so I don't include them. In this sense, you could click on a Google form, fill it out, and I'll know exactly what I'm getting from who. Again, you don't have to put your blend in that right now. It's basically just a place for me to know that I know what blends I'm getting from who, and I will contact you once you fill out the form to let you know where to send it. And then we can get the blends is in. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Do you have the blends? I missed it, or was it ever released? Yeah, it was released a long time ago. Abandoned Ferment. I'm going to blend so hard. Yeah. So the winning blend, I don't remember off the bat, Darrell, but I know it had Forgate in it. So here's the thing. Let me just drop the link here in the chat for you guys. Let me throw this here. So this is the link for the official rules. And you guys could pull that down. You could download it. There's a link to the form on there. If you have, if you plan on putting a blend into it, and you have the option to do just the American whiskey blend, a Franken blend, or or both, but only one entry per category. Again, to remind everybody, Franken blends can be a blend of anything. You can blend anything you want together, except like flavored liqueurs and stuff. But if you have an Irish whiskey, Scotch, Armagnac, bourbon, rye, whatever you want to blend together, American single malt, your Franken blend is your creative. Get your creative juices flowing. You can pretty much blend whatever you want together. American whiskey blend, the rules are a little bit more strict. It's really just American whiskeys, so bourbons, ryes. You could put some American single malt in there if you want. American-made light whiskey if you want as well. But generally, most people just blend bourbons or bourbons and ryes together. You can utilize finished bourbons if you want. But the big rule again this year is no store pick single barrels or group pick single barrels are allowed. So if you have some phenomenal store pick from the state that you're in, you cannot include it in the blend. Of course, we want everybody to try to replicate it if they can. And I also ask this because Darrell put an older 4-gate in the mix that won the blend. I mean, Darrell's blend was absolutely outstanding. Fred loved it. I loved it. There's a reason why it won, but it was pretty hard to replicate because he had a 4-gate from like 3 or 4 years ago in the mix, which was a little bit tough. So I ask you, if you're going to make a blend, try to use whiskeys that are current or available on the shelf. That's the reason why we try to do this, to try to come up with the best whiskey, the best blends that we can with what's available, if possible. So try to stay along that guideline. Again, no store or group picks allowed, and see what happens. And we'll have new judges this year coming in, testing them out for everybody. We'll get some new faces on the channel to see what they like best, and we'll see who moves on in the brackets. It's going to be pretty cool. JG, who got 4th, I think, out of everyone, or 3rd. I forgot exactly where he fell, but his blend was probably the most replicated that people really liked, which was just Rare Breed, Wild Turkey Rare Breed, and Sagamore Spirit Cast Strength Rye. Just those two whiskeys made it all the way through the bracket and almost won, got to the final. So stuff like that. I mean, don't overthink it, don't overdo it. We'll get started in October. Once we get the schedules, once I know how many blends are coming in, it'll be time to go. And we have have a couple of new prizes in store this year, so it's going to be a shit ton of fun. So as the end of the video said, get blending immediately. So, all right. Going to do Mash and Journey Franken blend. Yeah, you could do that. So would bottles like John J. Bowman single barrel Evernorth releases or Barrel King releases be allowed? That's a good question. I mean, as long as they're not selected by anyone, if they're regular releases, like if it's just John J. Bowman single barrel on the shelf, you could definitely use it. Evernorth releases, that one's tough because you can really only get that through Bourbon Junkies, but I understand if you want to try to use it, I feel like you can. As long as they're not single barrel picks, as long as they're the wider releases that the Bourbon Junkies do, then I think I'm fine with it. And same thing with Barrel King. If they're there, if Barrel King's regular releases are in it, I feel like you can do that. As long as they're more current and not from like 3 years ago. So, everyone can't get those realistically. Yeah, I get it. I don't know. I don't want to make it too strict because I do want people to be creative, but at the same time, it'll be interesting to listen. Whatever ends up winning, as we saw in the last 4 that were left, there were 2 very good blends in there that could be replicated very easily. So if the winning blend isn't exactly that doable to replicate, we're gonna get some really fantastic blends to replicate. So yeah, there it is. That's it. 60% Rare Breed, 40% Sagamore Cast Strength. Just do that blend at home if you have them, guys. It's a really, really good blend. I mean, come on. Not everyone can get ECBP. You can't make everyone happy. Where would we find last year's blends? On the original vid? Yeah. You know what? I'll repost them because I don't know if they're still there. So Darren Clary has 5 blends brewing for the past 2 months. Picking one this weekend. Okay, he's ready. All right, guys. I am sipping speaking of the Bourbon Junkies, this is their Bourbon in the Barn single barrel Green River that they released. Now, I wasn't able to go this year, but this was their Bourbon in the Barn single barrel that they did. And everyone told me, Jason, you got to get it. It's a banger. Mash and Journey, we did an absolutely unbelievable pick of Green River this year. So I'm actually eager to kind of put it head to head. But off the bat, this is like a straight up cherry Jolly Rancher. That file's not open to share. Oh, it's not open? All right, let me fix that real quick. Sorry, guys. I always forget to do that, damn it. Wow. That is super fruit forward. Dun, dun, dun. There it is. Okay, let me... Is this... Oh, here we go. Okay. Add people group. Let's see. Anyone with a link. You guys are right. Like, Jason, let us in. Okay, let me do that. All right, let me now reshare it, and let me put it back in here, guys. All right, so you guys can now try that and let me know if it works, guys. Okay. I get a serious cherry candy apple note in this Green River. I can see why. Yeah, I see why people love this pick. This is really good from the Junkies, for sure. That's a hell of a pick. Oh, it works. Perfect. How many samples do we have to submit? It's all in the. If you read that document, everything is in there. There you go. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this against our pick, see how it does. All right, guys. The floor is yours. We have about 40 minutes. So if you want me to review something, compare something, give me some suggestions. Let's go for it. It's you request live on the Mash and Drum. You want me to revisit anything? What do you want me to talk? Let's go for it. Yes, I would actually appreciate it if you added laser codes to your blends. That'd be awesome. When is that butterscotch bomb still awesome pick dropping? Probably the next few weeks. So it's coming soon, Parker. Jason, I've heard that River Roots is a phenomenal whiskey, but I couldn't pull the trigger on 250-300. I looked on Sealbox. They had a 5-year straight bourbon for 90, 130 point proof. Great. I haven't tried enough River Roots, unfortunately. Somebody did give me a sample pack recently of some River Roots Rise, so maybe I can dive into those next week with you guys, for sure. Lefroy Carchis. I still haven't found a bottle of that yet. Need to put those two Green Rivers head to head. Am I wrong? Russell's 13 versus 15. You can barely taste the 13. I don't think you're wrong, Dustin. I just think it's a completely different experience, 13 versus 15. I've done that already a million times. I'm not going to do it again. But 13, I feel like you get more of a punch on the palate, but I feel like it kind of goes away a little bit quick, and it's really just medicinal cherry, depending on the batch you have. whereas 15 just has so many more layers to it, at least for me. Kelvin 6 versus Amrut Bardstown. Kind of like that idea. But this most likely is going to be my next Scotch review. Little Book 8 versus Thomas Handy versus Overholt 10 cast strength. You guys up for that one? That one's pretty cool. Kind of dig that one. That Blue Label SW behind you. Blue Label SW. SW. Oh, the Smoke Wagon? That's the Desert Jewel. That's a really rare bottle. I'll freaking drink the shit out of that. I want to see a revisit of Bardstown releases. At one point, Discovery 7 was the best release of the year contender. What happened to that? Discovery 7. Yeah, I think we did. I think I did a full blind. I did a video recently of all the Bardstowns together. Well, it wasn't the Discoveries. I did the Discoveries a while even further back, and I think 2 and 4 were still my favorites. Best bourbon lover Scotch for me, Bunnahabhain 12, and even better, Bunnahabhain 12 cast strength. Those are my thing. Bonnie over bourbon. If you have the new Carchis from Lafroig near you, then email me because I do want one. I want that new one. So if it's the 10, what is it, a 10-year thing, whatever it says on it, then that's the one I want. Oh, that Match and Journey pinhook pick that we got coming is so good. Overholt 10 versus Triumph. Unfortunately, I don't have the Triumph anymore. I borrowed that bottle and I never bought one. I didn't buy I didn't buy a backup. Or I didn't buy one for myself. I just didn't want to spend the $300 on it. I wanted to get the Russell's 15 instead. I want to see okay, we talked about that one. Have you ever reviewed Driftless Glen Single Barrel Rye? Oh, that's a good one. An American Single Malt versus Scotch. It's kind of a cool idea. So I have a good American Single Malt nearby, though. Maybe just the McCarthy's, but that's peated. I would have to do that at the end because that's going to blow out my palate. I do not have any 2024 Stag batches yet. I don't think Stag moves the needle anymore. I think people are just kind of over trying to look for it, to be honest. What are you pouring when you hit that 100K? That's a good question. I don't know. It's going to be something good, though. I did review Bullet American Single Malt. I wasn't a huge fan. Kyle Taylor, yeah, that Carchis is probably in the in the running for me. You know what? I think I'm gonna go Amrut versus Carter Cellars. As far as like a Bardstown finish release, it's kind of cool. So many. Have you tried the Angel's Enemy Straight Bourbon, Wayne Arnold? Yeah, it's right here, Wayne. I reviewed this one. That one's actually, I should probably do a full review on that. I didn't do a full review on that one. That might be a good one to do a video on. Smoke Eye Hill, I did not that long ago. I'm not going to do. What about some random ass samples you've never tried? I do have like some random ass bottles, but yeah, all my samples are upstairs, unfortunately. But all right, let's pull out. I'm going to go back to the suggestion from Kenneth, and I think we can make that one work. Little Book 8 versus Thomas Haney versus Overholt 10 cast rank. So let me grab those three real quick. So here's Little Book 8. And I'll throw the bottle cam up here. You guys get a look at that. Let me turn that off. There you go. Let's see. Old Overholt 10 cast strength. Let me grab that bottle. Oh man, Scott doesn't still have that bottle, does he? I hope not. You know what? Scott borrowed that bottle. He might still have that one, but I will compare it against Thomas H. Handy though. See how that goes. It's not up there, is it? No. Okay. You know what? I'll pull out this. This might be fun to do too. The Knob Creek Cast Strength Rye. You guys remember this bottle? That's right. That was a little bit of a sneaky hitter. Might try that one. All right, let me grab the handy. I don't have much of that left. Yikes. All right. All right, and we're back. Okay. Just tuned in and saw an empty chair. Assume Jay fell again. What's up, Gumbo? Pappy 15 versus Little Book. I don't think the Little Book has a chance in that aspect. Pappy 15 is pretty good, I gotta say. I've been in that room. I can see how hard it is to find something. Just compared Cedar Ridge Special Release versus Oban 10 Release. Oh, you know what? Cedar Ridge actually is a really great idea as far as this as American single malt goes, for sure. Jason down to his last couple handies. Yeah, pretty much. So, all right. Thomas H. Handy. Now, this is from, gosh, when did I get this one? I believe this is 20. Oh, man, I think this is 2021, 22. It's either 21 or 22. Actually, it's 125.7 proof. So if someone wants to look it up and let me know what year that is, I'd appreciate it. All right, Little Book. Let's see what we get here. Let's see. Have you tried any Breckenridge? I do. I've had Breckenridge for sure. Woo. All right. All right, then let's get the, you know what? I'll just compare these two. I have minimal glasses, and I don't want to. It's a 2019. Shit, it's even older. All right. Good scotch to get for someone just getting into scotch. Have Glenlivet 12 already. Glenlivet's a good one. Balvenie 12 years, pretty good for someone getting into scotch. If you could find Compass Box Spice Tree, that's a great beginner scotch. Oh, man. Mash and Drum, you have a lot of open bottles. Do you ever take the near empty ones and put in Boston rounds to fend off oxidation? I don't do oxidation. If there's a bottle I'm really concerned about, I'll just transfer to a smaller bottle, Todd. That's basically what I do. What are top two running for whiskey of the year? Let's run it. Top two right now? Russell's 15 and what would be number two? What's number two for me this year? I might have to say Green River Full Proof right now just because of how good the price is on it. But if we're talking like, premium whiskeys, there hasn't been a ton of premium whiskeys that has really blown me away this year. I mean, sneakily, oh man, that yeah, those might be my top two. Amroot would be up there. Old Fitz 13 definitely be up there. Those will probably be top 5 picks for sure, I think. But yeah, those will be up there. This year's list, I think, will have a really good mix of available, affordable, and then you have your premium releases. So I'm really excited about this year's list. Should be pretty cool. Oh yeah, the Kelvin 7 I forgot about. I gotta, you know what? Somebody put Kelvin 7 versus Amroot. I am gonna do that comparison here in a bit. All right. So on the nose, The Handy's definitely sweeter. Oh, man. Thomas H. Handy just has like this this lemony lemon meringue. It's like a glass of it's like you're drinking flan. Yeah, Disco 11 was last year. I wish some Parker Sutton. That's a nice old joke. Yeah, for sure. What is your go-to at a bar? Mixed drink. Go-to at a bar mixed drink for me right now is probably Manhattan. I know it's not like out of the ordinary, but I am really digging like a really good, really well-made rye Manhattan lately. It's weird to see the state of the market where a 6-year whiskey can beat out some of these legacy brands and go toe-to-toe with the premium release. And premium release is awkward. Yeah, Disco 11 was last year, William Wiley, but yeah, I would like a history class on Kelvin whiskey. I get confused. Yeah, Wayne Arnold, Kelvin is just a cooperage. I mean, they're just making the barrels. They're not distilling anything. But folks that use Kelvin cooperage to do, different things with their whiskeys, that's where the differentiator is. So Kelvin, much like Independent Stave, they use a lot of data, a lot of different data points to figure out exactly what type of barrel, what type of char, what type of toasted heads, all that information, and use it to see which of those attributes for a specific barrel make the most sense for that specific whiskey. So Green River Foolproof versus Bourbon Lore BA. Oh, that's a good one. Man, it's close. Oh, man, I might like the Little Book more. The Little Book just has an extra layer of age to it that the Handy does not have. Yeah, Disco 12, I think, hit TTB. I think we showed that a long time ago. I think it's got a good amount of turkey in it again. I got to say, when it comes to the 2019 Thomas H. Handy versus the Little Book, I kind of dig the Little Book a little bit more. The Little Book also has this tart orange spice that it's got that goes right head to head with that lemon caramel richness of the Thomas H. Handy. But I think the Little Book is actually more layered. That Little Book, man, when you're talking about ryes this year, I think ryes are going to be harder than bourbons this year. Between the Little Book, this little beast of a bourbon, the Two Souls. I mean, you guys heard me talk about this one. The Two Souls double-barreled pumpernickel rye, which is a 5-year-old product. That thing's crazy. That thing was crazy. I mean, even the Michter's 10-year rye, I think this year, the Michter's barrel proof, I think, was a little bit more concentrated. So, yeah, good stuff. If you have any, JD14 is supposed to drop this year, so I think we should see it. That Two Souls is off. Odds on, yeah, I think we're gonna see it. If you could have dinner with a live distiller, who would it be? I mean, man, that's a good question. I mean, immediately I'd want to go to like Jimmy Russell, obviously. He would be up there. I would actually like to have dinner with probably. I mean, when Colin O'Driscoll was on, Could you imagine having dinner with that guy? That guy was a blast to hang out with. I would like to have dinner with Connor O'Driscoll from Heaven Hill. That dude sounds like a lot of fun, man. Alan Bishop, I think, is a great call out because you don't know where that dinner is going to go. I think Alan Bishop and the guy's a fucking genius. So that dinner would probably be incredible. Yeah. All right. So between the Handy and the Little Book, I'm going Little Book for sure. Little Book for the win. All right. Elmer T. Lee, man, if he was alive, that would have been cool. Jim McEwen. Oh my gosh, that would be pretty amazing. Travis and I were recently discussing, doesn't make sense to drop Coy Hill and JD14 this late in the year. I mean, maybe not. I mean, maybe we see it as like a holiday release. I mean, you never know. I would like to know your top 5 Falcons players of all time. Oh my gosh. Top 5 Falcons players of all time. I mean, obviously, number 1 is Dion. Number 2 is probably Matt Ryan. Number 3 is probably Julio Jones. Number 4 might be Jesse Tuggle, the old freaking hammer-in-your-face linebacker. Number 5, probably Andre Bad Moon Rising. Those are probably in my top 5. Oh, yeah, Vic. Shit, I forgot about Vic. How did I forget about Vic? I'll probably move Andre Rison and take Vic on the list then. I love Jesse Tuggle. Yep. Steve Bartkowski was before my time. I didn't really get to see him play. All right. Next up, let me look at some of the suggestions here. What do we got here? Still Austin Blue Corn. I don't have that one. Oh, yeah. I want to do this. I want to do the Amroot versus... Is this Kelvin 6? It is. Lucky. I don't have to search too far. Let's do this Amroot versus this 4-gate. This is pretty cool. Okay. Go back down. Matt Ryan. Jamal Anderson. Oh, yeah. Warwick Dunn. Love Warwick Dunn, too. I actually met Warwick Dunn once randomly in an elevator, which was crazy. I was at an event, and he was just, like, randomly in the elevator. I'm like, are you Warwick Dunn? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, my God, huge fan. He was so super nice. Had no idea. Like, I'm, like, staring at him, like, is that Warwick Dunn? I mean, super unassuming, really quiet. Not really a big guy, but amazing football player. So, oh, man. So, the Amroot. Bardstown Amroot. This is a blend of rye and bourbons, and they were finished in both peated and unpeated Amroot Indian single malt casks. Then you have the 4-gate Kelvin Collaboration number 6, which was finished in Portuguese Madeira and Conch Republic dark rum casks. So this is a crazy blend of finishes here. I still haven't. I've ordered the Amroot 1 month ago from Sealbox, and they still haven't shipped it. What's up with them lately? So what I found is that sometimes Sealbox, they'll have stuff on the website, and they don't exactly have all the inventory yet. So maybe they're waiting for it to come in before they start shipping it out. That's the only thing I could think of. You totally know Warwick was pressing that elevator close button. Yeah, he was. Yeah. After I'm like, are you Warwick done? After I totally like fanboyed on him, he's probably like, get me the hell out of this elevator with this guy. Battle of the Foolproofs, Green River versus 1792. Oh, okay, that's something there. What about Bobby Petrino? One of the biggest assholes in sports. Gosh. I love this Bardstown Amroot so much. It's just so unique. I mean, it just goes from like cherry cordial into chocolate, and then it's almost like a smoked cherry. Because I do think you get a little bit of that peat smoke on the back end of it, but it's not like overpowering. It doesn't come off like an Ardbeg or Lafroig. It's just enough to keep things interesting, give it a little bit of a difference. Oh, yeah, TJ Duckett. Man, you know what? I have a jersey of Algie Crumpler. Remember Algie Crumpler, the crazy, the tight end? I think he went on to play for the Titans after he was traded from the Falcons, but. It's dark, it's rich, it's dense. The 4-gate has some work to do. This I think is going to be a top 5 for me. This thing is so good. And I know people don't like the price being $160. I get it. But the rate that Bardstown releases these collaborations, when one of them hits like this, these are sitting on the shelf. I see these everywhere I go. I don't really know how they're selling overall. Obviously, I don't have insight into that one. But anyone that's not buying this, I mean, I get it. $160 is a lot, but man, I mean, you're getting 9-year, 8-year, 14-year, 10-year, and 11-year whiskeys in here. It's not like you're getting. This is $160, and this shit was $130. Just it's a little perspective. Just saying. I mean, I know it's still expensive, but I'm gonna say, like, people need to. Again, I've been saying this for so long. It really comes down to education. And honestly, the whole sourcing thing just pisses me off now. Like people get on 4-gate. Oh, I'm not going to pay $200 for some source shit that they put in a cask. Fine. Or all the NGP stuff. Like, people don't want to buy anything from NGP. Oh, it's in Indiana. It's all sourced. I'm not buying anything sourced anymore. That's bullshit. Because you guys realize that Blanton's is technically sourced, right? But if you saw a bottle of Blanton's on the shelf, you know you're going to fucking run out and buy it if it's at retail, right? You can't have it both ways. Blanton's is pretty much sourced. It's sourced by Takara at Age International in Japan. They're just literally contract distilling it for Age International Takara. So it's technically sourced. So good whiskey is good whiskey no matter where the fuck it's coming from. So just, like, shut up about it. Like, just enjoy the whiskey. Who cares where it's coming from? If it's good, it's good. Just, I don't understand why people get so worked up. Worked up over prices? Yes, I totally get it. If it's like a 4-year-old NGP and it's like $80, $100, yeah, I'm not buying that shit. But when you have someone like Nashville Barrel Company, Barrel King, you know, any of these, even 4-gate's a little bit more of a premium pour, but I'm just saying, like, if you know what to look for and the stuff that's good, you know people are putting the time and effort into making something really delicious, it doesn't matter where it's sourced. Just shut up and enjoy it. And they say the same thing about the Bardstown stuff. Oh, it's a bunch of source stuff thrown together. I want direct from the. Like, chances are the stuff that you think is direct is not direct. It's distilled somewhere else. It's blended with something. Like, it doesn't matter. If it's good whiskey, it's good whiskey. Like, all this authenticity bullshit, because I guarantee I could go to any one of those person's houses that have a collection, and I could probably pick out about 15 or 20 bottles that is somewhat sourced, or used to be sourced, or is now sourced. It's all bullshit. Like, everyone that, like, you know, goes crazy over Michter's 20 and the Michter's 10 years and stuff like that. It's all source. Like, what is wrong with sourced whiskey? You can't disparage one source and then love another because it's sourced. You're talking out of both ends of your asshole. Actually, there's only one hand. Both ends. You know what I mean. Sorry, I'm ranting now. Sealback says, Amber, if you don't mind, Wild Turkey started sores. Now we're talking. A good Jason rant feels like the Coliseum. Bring out the Lions. I'm just saying, guys, it's bullshit. Like, who cares? A good whiskey is good whiskey. Just, if you're overpaying for that whiskey, again, I totally agree with you. But don't disparage sourcing. If it's coming from MGP and all of a sudden you want to poo-poo on it, I'll give you this. There is a lot of MGP out there from different sourcers, but that's because MGP is a go-to source, and they make a shit ton of whiskey. There's not many places you can go if you want to build a brand. And I get that part of it. But there are some other options you can go to nowadays. Sourced bourbon is becoming more and more available because we're in a little bit of a bourbon, not going to say a decline, but a little bit of a plateauing. where people aren't as willing to pay a lot more for whiskeys. And again, this goes back into the premiumization of whiskeys and the price points that we're seeing from the big distillers. And somebody mentioned it before in the chat that the small distillers are catching up. The ones that are still doing what they do are catching up. And guys and girls that know where to get their good whiskey from, know where to go to get it, and they're willing to pay a price, because chances are I have had 2 to 3 Nashville Barrel Company picks sourced from MGP, recharred in a Kelvin barrel, that have been better than probably Elijah Craig Barrel Proof this year, that have been better than most of the premium stuff that I've gotten from any of the big distillers this year. The big releases, aside from maybe Russell's 15 from the premium distilleries, have not really hit it for me this year. It's all coming from the smaller brands. So who cares if they're sourcing? Good whiskey is good whiskey. And I'll end it there. Thank you. Yeah, Sagamore as a contract distiller is killing it. I mean, the junkies are getting a lot of their stuff from there, and it's delicious whiskey. So it's not about the whiskey. Shut up and enjoy it. Yeah, so. All right, so this 4-gate opened up. I'm a sucker for Chinese food, and it's also sourced, just saying. Starting to see brands on the shelf that used to be behind the counter. This message was approved by, I don't know, Sourced Whiskeys Everywhere. The 4-gate is really good. That silky, peanut buttery, jammy flavor that it has from that Madeira, as good as that is, I don't know if it stands up to the Amroot. That's like people freaking out about 13 Colony and their contract distillate. Who cares? It's tasty. Exactly. Just, I don't know. Just kind of overall like putting a microscope over, people making good whiskey. Look, if they were like coloring stuff or doing stuff that was against the law, yeah, that's one thing. There's been no evidence of that. So let them just make their whiskey and shut up. If you don't like it, buy something else. That's all I'm going to say. I don't see why everybody's got to make a big, shitstorm about everything. Man, when you compare the two, I like finding whiskey that is not tater juice. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what like the whiskey geek, like us, like everybody watching this right now, that's what we like. That's what we strive for. We like to find the little outliers, the little brands that are doing amazing things that nobody else knows about. The people that are wanting to go out there and buy the premium bottles that are a little bit more premium, those premiumized bottles that are people want to pay an exponential amount of money for because they want to say that they have it. Chances are something like, a single barrel pick is going to be a lot better than that. So just for example, this year, for whatever reason, I've gotten a chance to taste more Buffalo Trace single barrel picks than I've ever had before. I've gotten to try Sazerac's single barrel picks, which are really impressive. I really like the Sazerac single barrels that are out there. Way better than the standard. I've gotten to try a couple of Colonel Taylor single barrels, a couple of Stag single barrels. The Wellers are usually out there. And I got to say, are they good? Yes. Are they better than some of the stuff that I've tried from Nashville Barrel Company this year? Nope. Not even close. The MGP, a couple of the MGP single barrels that I've had from other brands? Nope. Was the Sazerac single barrel better than this? Not even close. So I don't care like what your brand is. Good whiskey is good whiskey. Yeah, is it fun to get a single barrel from a high-end distillery? Yeah, but I'm telling you, these smaller brands and what they're doing, they are catching up, and they have stuff that's not, if it's as good, but better than some of those big distillers. Just saying. Just saying. Premierize. I totally made up that word, didn't I? Premiumization is what I meant to say. As supply catches up, I imagine the scarcity mentality will wear out in a few years. Yeah, I think we're getting Backbone picks. Oh my god, how could I forget about Backbone? Backbone, for God's sake, doing incredible things. 100% over 30 to 45 of the blend is Sagamore Bourbon. Also, the Sagamore E is still MGP. Junk is the only place I've seen that Sagamore only is lit barrel strength right now. Yep, for sure. Yeah, this Amroot, I think I like the Amroot. Where can we find a Russell's 15? You can buy that keg and bottle right now for like $15,000 or something like that. There's some people that have it online for just a stupid amount of money, but unfortunately, a lot of the store owners that got it are flipping it, and you just have a lot of flippers that are flipping it. But the prices have come down. It started at about $900. I think the cheapest now I've seen Russell's 15 is about $400, $450. So the prices have come down if you're still willing to, spend the money. Is a 10-year Nashville Barrel Pick Company really worth $150 though? Says Zachary Kennedy. Yeah, I know that price is high. It really depends on the single barrel though. If you could. The one thing with Nashville, I always say, if you could try it first before you buy it, then do it. They have a great bar there. But some of those Kelvin double oaked barrels that they do are some of the best whiskeys I've had. Is a Houdini 3 coming anytime soon, Alex Smith? Stay tuned. We have 2 Nashville Barrel picks about to drop. Jason, do you have a favorite new shelper for 2024? Mine right now, maybe the Green River 100. Yeah, I think I mentioned that, Whiskey Knows. It might be the Green River Foolproof. I think it could be. As far as shelfer, though, yeah, what's my favorite shelfer right now? Shelfer. I would probably put. Man, the Russell single barrels shelfers have been really good lately. I hate to go back to the well all the time, but it's true. Four Roses single barrels on the shelfers have been still my go-to. A bottle that I've gone back to recently that I really like is the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. The what is it? The 7-year Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. That bottle for me I've loved more and more as time has gone on, for sure. Mine is Old Forester 100. Oh yeah, that's a great one for sure. Baker 7, I think, is highly underrated. I think that Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond is a really great one for the money. As far as a shelfer goes, what other shelfers do I dig right now? Nobody talks about Knob Creek 9-year single barrel, 120 proof. Those things could be bangers. What else? Maybe because it's local to me, but the Middle West Pumpernickel Rise have been so good. Remus, the Remus Highest Rye. Remus Highest Rye Bourbon. The 6-year-old Remus Highest Rye Bourbons, I think, are just criminally underrated. They are so good. All right, Jay, that can go in the foolproof battle. KC 120, Green River, and 17. All right, yeah, let's do that one. Holy crap, it's 10:58. Where did time go tonight? All right. So foolproof, KC9 120, and Green River foolproof. All right. All right, I'm going to make people think I fell off the chair again. All right, first off, all right, KC9 120, Green River, and 1792. All right, let me grab those. All right, here's I found the foolproof. That's why it's live, folks. See me searching for bottles down here. Okay. Got that one. Here's the Knob Creek 120. We'll throw that one right there. Now I just got to find the Green River foolproof, which I know is around here somewhere. Is it right over there? And I'm just blind. I need to find the green top. The green top. See, this is what's happened. This is what happens when you try to do this shit live. You don't know where your bottles are. My God, I just had this bottle out. What the hell did I do with it? I'm gonna check over here. Just so you know, I did not fall. I'm down here willingly. Just saying. Okay, let me find the that last one here. I think it's down here somewhere. Okay, let me move this. Oh, I think I found it. Nope, that's the rye. The hell did I do with that bottle? I feel like I just did a video on it. That's the pick. Oh, looking right at it, guys. Sorry. All right, and we're back. Okay. Floor whiskey. That's right. Floor whiskey. That's what I got. All right, Green River. We'll go in glass one. This will be a good comparison here. We'll do Knob Creek. Ooh, there goes the wax. Glass two. Yeah, this is a pick behind the Amroot. And then the 1792 foolproof. Now, this is a pick. So, all right, so let's do a quick compare here. If it was a snake, it would have bit you. Totally would have bit me. All right, Green River Foolproof, which is probably one of my favorite whiskeys that have released this year. Wow, I don't think I've ever gotten like a floral component on it, but it's actually coming off a little bit floral, very citrus forward for me. 1 ounce of Russell's 15 gets spilled on the floor of your local bar. You bending down to slurp it or no? I might try. One more pour for me and I'm not. Jason, add rare breed to that blind. Rare breed? All right. Okay, and while I'm tasting this, before we sign off tonight, let's get into our top 5 tonight. Here we go. All right, top 5 Olympic sports that just ended. What were my top 5 favorite things to watch? I know people gave a lot of shit to the breakdancing, but little known fact. That's right, Jason C. Yeah, this breakdancing gets me talking to the third person, apparently. I used to breakdance when I was younger, a younger lad. Used to break out the cardboard at recess back in New York. Yeah, me and my friends, we used to, I used to breakdance, I used to try to breakdance. So I somewhat enjoyed it. However, I think the quality of breakdancing was lackluster compared to what I've seen from other people. You know, we got that girl from Ray Gun. Oh my God, what was that? That was so terrible. I feel like they're like completely stripping. They're completely getting rid of breakdancing out of the Olympics just because of her, which I think is hilarious. Because she was literally she was just literally crawling all over the floor like a toddler. It was hilarious. So, yeah. We need video evidence of this. There is one video of me breakdancing somewhere. Don't know exactly where it is, but all right. So number 5. I'm not going to say it's breakdancing. Breakdancing was just kind of fun and silly to watch, but the breakdancing, the ray gun one was probably one of my favorite moments because it was just so like silly. Some of it was kind of cool. Some of the moves were like, all right, but whatever. How about what was it, the guy from Turkey in the shooting competition that just took out the gun and just shot it like it was nothing? Everybody else had like scopes and all this gear, and he just pulls it out of his, back of his pants like it was nothing. That was pretty hilarious. So I really enjoyed. I'll say number 5 for me was, the statue pose was next level. Absolutely. All right, let's try the foolproof first, the 1790. I'm sorry, the Green River. It's actually more peachy than I remember. Citrusy, peachy, orange. That is so good. Nice spice to it. Number 5, I would probably put rugby. And when I say rugby, I would probably go with the USA women's rugby team. I don't really know much about rugby. I didn't really understand the rules, but that was some of the most fun games to watch. And that last game, when that girl ran her over and took off to score, I was freaking. I was going crazy. I was like screaming. That was so cool. So probably rugby number 5. And I only have it at number 5 because I don't really understand rugby that much. I would have to look, but watching that got me more into it, which was really cool. Number 4 for me would probably be the swimming. I really did enjoy kind of the relays, and I've always enjoyed kind of the swimming, and it always just blows my mind how far and how fast these the men and the women can swim like that. So probably swimming for you would be number 4. Number 3. But yeah, that girl got trucked. Yes, she did. She got trucked. For sure, she got trucked. Number 3 for me, I think, would probably be... this is going to sound funny, but did you guys watch the ping pong action? The ping pong was crazy. I don't even understand like how they're hitting it. And they're just... The ball's going a gazillion miles an hour. Somehow these guys will hit the ball. Ping pong might be up there. I don't know if it'll make my top 5, but ping pong was pretty incredible. All right, let's go to the Knob Creek. The Knob Creek is really good. Again, I think Knob Creek 9-year single barrel is highly underrated still to this day. Ping pong is our first clue that we're in the Matrix. Shit. Number 3, I would probably go with... first, I gotta even think like what my... Number 1 might be USA men's basketball. That was just so fun to watch. Because Steph Curry was a little bit off his game for most of it. And then the last 2 games he played, he completely took over both those games. That was just really cool to watch. I love Steph. I'm glad it happened with him doing it. But it was kind of cool to see the rest of the team kind of dig in. And, the one game, it was a little bit too close for comfort, but they pulled it out. Number 2 was probably track and field, and that was just probably a mix of the different races. I love watching the 100, the 200, the hurdles, all that stuff. The guy who freaking did the pole vault and he knocked the pole off of with his Johnson. That guy won for a different reason. He didn't win a medal, but he won for a completely different reason. Water polo. How do they stay afloat that long? I don't know how they do it in water polo. They sit there and tread water for hours. So it's interesting with the 1792, you actually taste more of the alcohol compared to the other 2. That alcohol note in the 1792 definitely comes out a little bit more. It's more cherry forward than you get in both the Green River and the Knob Creek. The Knob Creek, I think, is the most vanilla caramel, probably the most like typical of the bourbon flavors that you would expect. I have zero interest in pro basketball, Olympic or otherwise, but I understand it was entertaining. Yeah, I mean, and then obviously the watching Simone Biles and the U.S. Olympic team. in gymnastics was probably my other top thing to watch. So probably those 5. But rugby, if I understood rugby more, that could have easily been number 1. Because rugby, that shit was brutal and it was awesome to watch, and I loved watching every second of it. You know what? Shit, I'm going to put rugby number 1. Because not only was it exciting to watch, but it sparked a new interest for me in another sport. So, yeah. I'm moving rugby from 5 to 1. That's how that works. Whiskey knows. I totally understand the pole vaulter issues. It's not easy. Yeah, I'm sure, Marty. I would love to see you on a pole vault. A new Olympic event, blind whiskey tasting. That's what it's about right there. There you go. Blind whiskey tasting, Olympic event. Or how many? Or they should add like a thing to the to archery. You got to take a shot and then shoot the arrow, and you just got to keep going until the arrows just start like killing people, going astray. Oh my god! I played rugby in high school and college, says JG. Oh, did you, man? Oh, that's cool. When I see you at Bardstown Blitz, we're gonna have to go through the rules because I want to learn how to play that shit. Outside the Star, have you tried OCD number 5? Yeah, they sent me a bunch of samples that I tried live not that long ago. Outside the Star, if you go back and look at some of my lives, you'll see those premium OCD number 5s are really good. So, interestingly enough, now this is a newer rare breed, and the newer rare breed to me has this very, very, very heavy cinnamon note. It's almost borderline Amburana. And yeah, man, I could taste it so much. It tastes like a lot of the barrels that I've tasted at Wild Turkey that get rejected from the single barrel program. So I'm not sure if those barrels are making it into rare breed, but I'm not digging that one at all. Speaking of some upcoming live streams, I'm working on getting Bruce Russell on the channel to talk about everything, not only Russell's, maybe single Rickhouse, but as we get closer to that release, I'm hoping Bruce will come on soon for an Office Still episode, as well as the one and only Brent Elliott from Four Roses. So 2 huge names I'm working on to get on the channel, so you guys can ask questions and we can learn as much as we can from those 2 amazing names in Bourbon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Green River Foolproof. It's lighter, more peachy. Apricot, citrus. Nice little spice to it. Great bottle for $40-$45. But the Knob Creek 9-year. If you want more of a traditional vanilla caramel oaky profile, I think the Knob Creek takes it for me. Honestly, even over the rare breed right now. Things have changed. I think my top 5 available go-to bourbons is going to be an interesting list this year. We could see Russell's in it. We could see... I think this Knob Creek 9-year could definitely be in it. Wow. The rare breed might be my least favorite in this right now. I actually would take the Russell's Reserve single barrel over the rare breed right now, any day of the week. I am just not digging the latest rare breed batches. You don't hear people talking about it as much anymore. I think that's the reason. $17.92 Foolproof, as far as like flavor punch, that might be second. But again, that's a store pick. Now a shelfer, I'm not sure. This is a store pick, so it might be a little bit of an unfair comparison. But I think, man, probably the Knob Creek. Probably give it to the Foolproof, Green River. Then I'll probably give it to the $17.92, and then the rare breed last. Actually, the rare breed, just the cinnamon note on it is just too much. So, Jason, Master Drum, you need to pick up another rare breed bottle. I bought a recent one and it's fine. Yeah, Rare Bird. This one. Yeah, I mean, I hate to bring up a laser code, but I'll have to look at the laser code. This one. You know what? I'll do that. I'll try a newer one and see what it's like. But I'm telling you, David, this one tastes a lot like the barrels that get rejected in single barrel picks that are really, really cinnamon heavy. At least to me, it does. So, so yeah. But as far as the Russell single barrel picks go, the Shelfers, absolute hitters this year. So, all right, guys. With that, I think we're going to call it a night. This was a lot of fun just to relax, hang out with you guys, drink some great whiskeys. Next week, I have a couple of fun blind tastings in mind. They will be pretty entertaining. You guys will want to see those. So stick around for that. Blendageddon, if you hit the link below in the description, click on the link to download the rules and regulations. You can also click on the form to get your submission in if you already know what you're going to be submitting. If not yet, it's fine. You can start working on your blends. Submissions are due by September 30th. And yeah, and get ready for a lot more content coming this way from me. So as always, thank you for the support. Love you guys. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. So cheers, and I'll see you next week right here live on the Master and Drum. Patrons, stay tuned. We're going to do an after party. Cheers, guys.